Hello students. Today I am going to deliver a lecture on the topic concept of health, a topic of health education and community pharmacy, diploma in pharmacy first year. It's the first chapter, concept of health. So first we will deal with the health. What is health? Health has been defined in many ways, but WHO has defined that health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well being, and not merely an absence of disease or infirmity. That is, if a man is healthy, then he should be physically healthy, mentally healthy, and socially healthy. Then he is healthy as per WHO. So WHO definition includes three dimensions. WHO has included three dimensions in its definition: physical, mental, and social. Except this, many other dimensions can also be included, like spiritual, emotional, vocational, etc. So now we will deal with the dimensions of the health. First is the physical dimension. Physical dimensions refers to the perfect functioning of the body. It states that every cell, every tissue, every organ should function in proper and in harmony. So there are certain signs which represents the physical health of an individual, like good complexion of the skin, lustrous hairs, bright skin, sound sleep, regular activity of the bowel and bladder, smooth and easily coordinated movements of the body parts. So these are the certain signs which represents the physical health. Second is the mental dimensions. So mental health has been defined as a state of balance between the individual and the surrounding world. So it's a state of balance between the individual and the surrounding world, including the environment. Psychological factors can induce many types of illness, like coronary artery disease, heart diseases, hypertension, peptic ulcer, etc. Mental mental illness, like mental illness can also cause a disease like depressions, schizophrenia. These can be produced by the increased or decreased activity of the neurotransmitters. So a mentally healthy person is free from the internal conflicts. He is well adjusted to the surroundings. He has a strong sense of self esteem. He knows himself, he knows his needs, he knows his problems, he knows his goals, and he solves them intelligently. So this was the mental dimension. Next is the social dimension. Social well-being implies the harmony and integration within the individual, between individual and other members of the society, and between individual and the world in which they live. Next is spiritual dimension. Spiritual dimension, according to the medical science, the body and soul are two different things. So, spiritual health is a connecting link between the physiology and psychology. It's a connecting link between the physiology and psychology. Next is emotional dimension. Emotional dimension reflects the feelings of an individual. If emotions of any man or a people is hurt, he may develop anxiety or depression, or he may become drug addict. So it is also an important dimension. And the last is vocational dimension. This dimension of health concerns with the vocational aspect of life. See, every man has a capacity or a limitation in relation to his work. He has certain targets in relation to his work. If a man is healthy, he is physically fit, he can work properly and achieve the goals. And if goals are achieved, then there is this feeling of satisfaction which makes him healthy. So here we finish the dimensions of the health. So these were the dimensions of the health. Now next is determinants of health. See, health does not exist in isolation. Health is influenced by various factors. These factors lie within the individual and in the society. So these factors affects the health, or you can say they determine the health. The first factor is heredity. So the state of health of an individual to some extent depend on its genetic makeup. The nature of genes is decided at the time of conception. So there are certain diseases which are transferred from parents to the offsprings, like hemophilia, sickle cell disease, etc., which are transferred, which have a familiar occurrence. Genes can also affect the drug metabolism adversely. So heredity also determines the health. Heredity factors also determines the health. Next factor is environment. See, the concept of relating disease with the environment is not new. In olden days, if you see the various old literature, then disease is directly related to the environment, like air, water, and lungs. So, environment can be put into three categories. First is internal environment, second is external environment, and third is the microenvironment. First is the internal environment. This internal environment is concerned with each and every cell, every tissue, organ system, and their harmonious functioning. External environment are those things to which a man is exposed. External environment can be divided into three components: physical component, biological component, and psychosocial component. Third is the microenvironment, which is also called as domestic environment. It includes the way of living and lifestyle. Lifestyle, that is it, habits, what type of habits a man is having. Personal habits like eating habits, drinking habits. So these all factors constitutes the environment. Third is lifestyle. The lifestyle is the way people live. So health requires the promotion of healthy lifestyle. An individual learns a lifestyle from his parents, from his school, from his school, college. So if a man has a healthy lifestyle, suppose a man properly exercises daily, he takes balanced diet, he does not smoke, he does not drink, so he is a healthy person. But if one follows a bad lifestyle like smoking habits, drinking habits, does not exercise daily, then there will be a disease. Next is the socio-economic conditions. So majority of the people health status is determined primarily by the level of socio-economic development. For example, per capita income, education, nutrition, employment, housing, political system, etc. So best economic status is the major factor in reducing morbidity, increasing the life expectancy, and improving the quality of life. The economic status determines the purchasing power, the standard of living, quality of life, family size, patterns of disease, etc. So these were the various dimensions of the determinants of the health. Now next is the indicators of health. Health indicators not only give an indication about the health status of a community, they represents the health status. We can, by these indicators, we can predict the health status of a community. These indicators are useful in the measurement of health status of a community for the comparison of a health status. So there are several indicators by which health status can be measured in the community. First is the mortality indicators. Mortality indicators. In this, we will study about the crude death ratio. So, crude death ratio is defined as the number of deaths in 1,000 population in a year in a particular area. That is, how many deaths have occurred in 1,000 population in a year. This represents the death rate. Second is the infant mortality rate. So this is the number of infant deaths out of 1,000 live births in a particular area. If the infant mortality rate increases, then we can say that infant health is not good, and if it decreases or it is very less, then we can say infant health is good. So these were the mortality indicators. Next is morbidity indicators. So these indicators gives information regarding the disease situation in the community. Morbidity indicators are more sensitive than mortality indicators. So the important morbidity indicators are like incidence and prevalence ratio, notification rates, OPD attendance rates, hospital admission rates, duration of stay in the hospitals, etc. Third is the disability rates. So these rates are supplementary to mortality and morbidity indicators. Disability rates can be divided into two types. That is event type indicators, that is number of days due to restricted activity, bed disability days, work loss days. And second is person type indicators, that is limitation of the movement and limitation of the activity. Fourth is the nutritional status indicators. So this is a positive indicator. There are three such important indicators like weight, height and mid-arm circumference of the preschool children and at school entrance age, and prevalence of the low birth rate, prevalence of the low birth weight. Fifth is health care delivery indicators. Health care delivery indicators. So these include like doctor population ratio, doctor nurse ratio, population bed ratio, population per health centers, etc. Sixth is utilization rates. Utilization rates indicate the extent to which the health care facilities are utilized by a population in a year. It means that how many people are using the health care facilities in a year in the population. Like how many people are adopting family planning methods, what is the bed occupancy rates in the hospital, what is the duration of stay in the hospital, what is the bed turnover ratios in the hospital. So these are the utilization rates. Next is seventh is indicators of social and mental health. See, we have a few indicators which are to indirectly reflect social and mental health. They are like they reflect the directly they reflect the social and mental health of the community, like homicide, suicide, other violent acts, crimes, road accidents, juvenile delinquencies, alcoholism, drug abuse. So these things represent the social health and mental health of the community. Next is environmental indicators. In the environmental indicators, the physical and biological environment of the human being is reflected. So they are related to air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, except this the toxic food they are eating, radiations, etc. If we talk about the water, then you have easily observed that nowadays there is a problem of safe water. A very few people in India are drinking the safe water. a very low sanitation facilities are there, a very less sanitation facilities are there. So all these things represent the environmental indicators. And last is the socio-economic indicators. So these are the purely indirect measures of the health status. They include the rate of population increase, per capita gross national income, level of unemployment, family size, dependency ratio, female literacy rates, number of occupants per room, etc. So these were the various determinants of the indicators of the health. Next is the role of pharmacist in a community. What type of role a pharmacist can play in the community, in the development of the community? See, pharmacist has a wide knowledge of drugs. He is also educated about the health. He is very familiar with drugs and health. He also deals with the various types of diseases. He knows he has a complete knowledge about the diseases like communicable diseases, non-communicable diseases, and other diseases. See, in this world, now the population is increasing. Suppose if we talk about India, the population is increasing. And as the population is increasing, the diseases are also increased. There is a problem of food, water, environment. So diseases are increasing day by day. If we talk about some disease like smallpox, now the smallpox has been completely eradicated from India. But if we talk about cholera is rare. Other diseases like malaria, TB, tuberculosis, syphilis, and other viral infections are common. AIDS is common, has now increased, and it is a very serious disease. So, pharmacist has a complete knowledge of the drug and the health. So, he can impart the knowledge, he can educate the people about